Hey kids, today I'm going to show you how to draw this awesome Yoda. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is to draw kind of a rough diamond shape round about here. It's going to be kind of like that. Rough diamond type of shape. I would say over halfway up the page. Now if you could draw a line across the middle of your diamond from this point, and above that line, leaving a gap of about 5 millimeters. I'm going to draw two circles. One there and one coming off the side. Leaving a bit of a gap between them, like that. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line which is going to be a curve like that, coming through the centre of these two circles, coming up the other end. These are going to be Yoda's eyes. And in the middle you want to draw a little circle with two smaller circles on either side, like that. Okay, coming from the edge of this, because this is now Yoda's nose, we're going to do a curved line which is going to curve down and head towards this point here, as if it's heading down first, then it's turned off and it's heading towards that point there. And kind of like halfway across this line, roughly, I'm going to do a little back to front C shape, like that. From this side of the nose, again following this kind of line, I'm going to draw another line that's going to start heading towards, getting wider as it gets further down, like that. So it's going to be wider at the bottom than it is at the top. And just below the nose, leaving a bit of a gap for the top lip, I'm going to do a small V with one side, the side on the left hand side, longer than the side on the right hand side. I'm going to just bring this line up to meet this centre line there. Next I'm going to draw a line similar to this but straight. If anything, it would be curving up slightly, like that. I'm going to draw that line there. And underneath, put two shallow curves inside of each circle. One on that side, one on this side, like that. There. It's more of a complicated drawing this, but if you persevere, you will get it. Okay, I'm going to draw the pupils, which are just going to be shown. So I'm just going to do a line basically, connecting this curve up with this line here. I'm just going to draw it over the halfway mark of the circle, and the same at this side. I'm just going to pencil these lines in a little bit more so you can see them. That's basically Yoda's eyes. Now just where this curve goes beyond this eye, I'm just going to put a little line going down. So in essential, you have this line up like that. Okay, next I'm going to draw a few little lines just crossing this V, heading in the same direction roughly as these two lines, like that. There. And I'm going to draw a bumpy line coming from the middle of this gap. I'm going to kind of follow this line of the head, and I'm going to just bump the line like that. Do a number of bumps, and where the little points are in the bumps, just going to draw lines going across like that. You could do as many as you like. Okay, now to draw Yoda's ears. Now this ear on this side of the head is going to come just above this eye. So if you imagine the eye would be about there, top of the eye would be there. Just above it I'm going to do a curved line which goes straight, then up, then curves out straight again at the end. So that's going to be like that. It's going to come back on itself and meet this eyelid about here. So that's the ear on the right hand side, and underneath, again from this end point, do another line which is going to come right down, come to about where the pupil is. So it's heading towards the pupil. That's the ear on that side. I'll just finish off by putting two small lines, like curved lines on the inside bit, on the bottom part of the ear there. And I'm going to do a similar thing on this end, but this time the curved line is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to kind of head up at an angle, straighten out a bit, then head up a bit again. So whereas that one went straight, up, then straight again, this one goes up, straight, then up again. And at the bottom you just want one big rounded curve, which brings you back to whereabouts this point is there. Now I'm going to try and make this ear look a bit like this one. So I'm going to draw, following this line, I'm going to draw a curved line just underneath, getting closer and closer to this line as you get towards the end, until you finally meet the point, the end point where the ear ends there. And you're going to do the same with the bottom line, follow this, just above it, do a line, which is going to go along, and then get closer and closer until you finally meet at the point of the ear there. And like I've got the two curves on this ear, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put a couple of curves, about 3 I would say on that side, there. That's basically it. Now I'm going to try and draw the body. So kind of in the middle of this line here, I'm going to draw a curved line going down to about there. He's only got a small body, so you don't need to like go too far down with it. I'm going to draw a straight flat line across the bottom and bring a line up to just about where the chin is there. That's basically going to be the rough size, shape and size of the body. Now you want to do his hood. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do the first curved line coming from the point at the bottom of this diamond that we first drew. I'm going to do a curve that curves backwards, ends about there, just under the middle of where this ear is, and it's going to come down at an angle. That's going to be the first curve. Then the second curve, again following this line but getting wider and further away from the line as you go along, curving slightly up at the end, and then I'll end it in this little curve which is a bit like that kind of thing. That's kind of like Yoda's hood. Underneath this ear, I'm just going to do a couple of lines coming down. 1, 2, 3. A line underneath curving up from the hood, the point where the hood is. Going to do a little thick bit that comes in, comes back out again, and it tucks in behind this ear here. That's kind of like Yoda's hair. And above the ear I'll do just a tiny bit of the hair showing, just like that. While I'm on, I'm going to just round the top of this head off, because Yoda's head isn't generally, it's rounded at the top. I'll bring it down and meet this eye, like that. I'm going to round this cheek off. Like that, until it meets this point. Just where the hood, it comes down here. And actually, I'll get rid of that at the end bit. I don't think I need that bit in quite yet. I'm just going to continue this line a little bit further. And I'll bring these lines down this way like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll bring them 2 lines down like that. One like that. So you can see a bit of his jersey underneath showing. There, that's better. That's a bit better, yeah. Now I need to draw the sleeve in, so following this curve, but before you get to this line where this hood is, I'm just going to round the top off like that. I'm going to curve it this way. I'm going to stop it just underneath this point there. You can see. Then I'm going to draw a line at the end of this point coming down, like a letter J coming back on itself, like that. It's quite complicated, this one, but if you persevere and rewind bits of it, you should be able to get it. Now at the end of this J, the top part, where it's like a step above this line, I'm going to draw another line which comes to just about this line here, and on the end I'm going to draw an oval about that size, kind of like an ellipse shape, like that. This is going to be Yoda's sleeve. At the point at the bottom of this shape here, I'm going to draw another line which comes all the way up, fatter at the bottom, the distance reducing, so it's kind of like that. Yeah, that should do that bit. And if you can imagine the hood's going to be there. If you can imagine that hood would continue down, and it would get to here, and then it would turn back on itself, head towards the end with one big swoop of line. I'm going to create a little mini staircase like that, heading back towards Yoda's body. And on each step I'm going to just extend the line a bit at the top, one there and one there, so it's kind of like that effect, like that. Okay, next I need to draw a little line in here, kind of, this is where I drew the body before, but I'm going to just draw a little line in there, a little bit to the left of this line. This line I'm going to continue, tick it back in, like a little tick towards the body, like that. Next I'm going to draw the hand. Now the first part of the hand is going to be a little curve, not right at the top, a little bit further down, small curve like that. So it'll come out at the end, a bit like a question mark the other way around. It's going to have a little bit of a point at the end, like that, like a bit like a tooth going up. The top end is just faintly going to draw this in. It's going to come like that, a bit like an upside down V, like that. Now on the top of this hand, I'm going to have the other hand resting, so it's kind of like that. I'm going to achieve this by drawing a little bit of a square where the point is. I'm going to come back up and meet that hand there. The top's going to square off like that shape, like that. And again, do the same thing again, but this time keep all this in one shape so that you end up with a shape which looks a bit like that. And the point on the right hand side, you've got 3 points now. Point on the right hand side, I'm just going to close this little bit off here, like that. Okay, now what I need to do is draw Yoda. He's going to be resting on his stick. So the stick's going to be basically like a crooked question mark at the top. So it's going to kind of be like that shape. And at the bottom, it's going to come out, a couple of points there. This bit's going to come down and it's going to stop just below this line I drew at the bottom of the body. So it's kind of like that shape. And then I'm going to do another step, like I've done with these. I'm going to just bring a line a little bit further down than this base line, like that. And I'm going to bring it up, just stop it about there, then continue along the baseline. So I've got like a step there. I'm going to take this out beyond the stick. I'm going to bring it back in about there, and roughly to create that rough Yoda type of a look. Just before I finish, start inking it in, last thing I'm going to do is 2 little laughter lines coming off the end of the left hand eye. So it looks a bit like that. Now it's time to ink Yoda in using my marker. I was going to start with this eyebrow line, which, remember, I've curved it down at the end. Just going to curve up at the end. I'm going to follow this line right across the eyes and bring it just off the end of that circle like that. That's the eyebrow lines. Next I'm going to draw on these 2 ellipses, which are just going to be the eyes underneath. One there, just going to fill it in, leaving a slight dot for a highlight. And one here, again, fill it in, leaving a slight dot for the highlight. And I'm going to just draw the bottom part of the circle below this line here on each side, ending at the nose. So that one on that side goes like that. This one on this side goes like that. There. And the circle that continues over the eye, I'm just going to partially draw that in. So I'm just going to partially draw that in on that side, like that. And I'm going to draw a couple of extra lines just in here, just to make him look as if he's got like wrinkles on his face, like aged lines. I'm going to continue with the nose. Just going to draw that nose in, trying to make it look like one shape. And this line coming up, the bumpy line, just ink that in and draw in the dividing lines that go across, so it looks a bit like that, roughly. Now with the top of the head, I'm going to start where this hair is, do the bump, rounding it off, remember, with your pen, and bring it in a smooth curve down to this eye, I'm going to smoothly curve out the just meet the end of the eye we have drawn before. I'm just going to tick this line in here just to show that the two round shapes, the two round eyeballs. And the bottom part of the face, again, beyond the point, I'll start the outline about there. Stop when you get to the little chin, which you can draw in if you want. Just draw it in there, and then continue rounding off where the cheek is to draw the bottom part of the face, like that. I'm going to take these lines again, the two curved lines that get wider towards the bottom. I'm going to ink them in. That's going to start at the chin, just following the line, ending at the nose. And this one starting roughly here, reach the end of the nose, stop it there. So the next thing I've got to do is the mouth. The mouth, I'm just going to follow the V shape that I drew before, and I'm going to do a few lines just to give him that wrinkly mouth look, like that. Almost finished with the face. Just basically for the ears, I'm just going to follow the lines I've already drawn. Filling in the lines, the detailed lines. Again on this side. Just following all these lines. Already drawn in. Remember not to press too hard on the paper with your pen, just skim it across the top. Finish off the hair, again, follow the lines. Stop at the collar. Coming back up that side, just finishing off those detail lines, like that. Right, so all that remains left to do, I'll just draw these two laughter lines in while I'm finishing the face off. All that remains to do is to do the body. I'm going to start with the two bits that make up the hood, so that's the bottom bit, which is going to come around and stop when I hit the sleeve area, and the other one, again, curve it down, stop when I hit the sleeve, and just finish off with this little curve like that. Finish off the curve at the back. Draw the sleeve in the foreground. This J bit that comes back, just going to draw that bit in. The top of the front part of the sleeve. And this whole sleeve line is going to come all the way down and stop at this first step. So I'll start where the sleeve is there. I'll bring it right around. Turn your paper around if you want to get a better angle to work at. Come all the way down and stop just about there. Draw the bottom part of the sleeve in, this one single line going up, like that. Do the two little step pieces. One of them's like that, the other one's like this. Follow this line up to the sleeve. Like that. Just going to finish off that line there, the hood. Like that. Now, I'm going to do this bit. Bottom bit. I'm going to stop behind the stick and start again. stop again. The sleeve that goes behind the stick, and then draw the stick in. Remember to stop the stick where it meets the hand. The other side comes up like that. Stop it there. Start the line here again. Stop it there. Complete it and end it where the hand sits, like that. So that's the little stick, Yoda's little stick drawn. Just the last little bit to go, which is this bit of collar on this side. The hand, which is going to go around at the bottom. Little point. Bring it up. Stop it where it meets this hand. Then draw this hand in like that. Starting with the first shape, which I'm going to do is one big shape, and just divide it up with a line there. Draw the other little shape. Top of the hand, like that. To finish off, just this one small line there. And just before I finish, behind this stick, I want to draw the other sleeve. So I'm just going to do 2 lines like that. There. That should be just about ready to rub out the lines and start colouring it in. Just going to rub out those lines. First thing I want to do with this, Yoda, colour his face in green. I'm going to use a flick effect of the pen. So you get the pen following the lines going up, and you just flick it up like that. It creates a kind of shading effect. Like that. And down again from the eyes again. Shading effect. Just flick and bring your pen off the paper like that. Make sure there's a bit more shading towards the edge of this shape. Perhaps a little bit more shading there, like that. And you kind of get a shaded effect if you do that, if you use that technique. I'm going to do the same with the lips. Again, following these lines. Just under the nose. Just little tiny ones. Under where the lip is. And for the bottom lip, I'm going to leave a slight gap and flick under just below the gap, like that. So it leaves a bit of a highlight on the lip, like that. So that's like roughly Yoda's. I mean, these are cheap felt tip pens. You know, if they start drying out, they actually work even better for this kind of shading. Like if I do the demonstrate here, see how the pen's almost ran out, but you can use it to create really interesting effects still. Same flick effect following the lines. Just experiment at home, just a bit shading underneath his chin. I'm going to do this over the whole face. Just use the same flick effect around the eyes. This area here, where the hair is. Build up the shading a little bit more. There. I'm intensifying the shading around the eyes a bit more, because he tends to have dark around his eyes. So there's Yoda. a bit more of that shading technique around this eyelid, like that. Bit around the top of the head, not too much, because you want the main highlight to be the top of the head there. So I'm just going to loosely go around there with this green, just at the bottom of where these creases are, and a bit more there, either side, on that one. Unfortunately, this pen's running out a bit. If you want to kind of add a bit more colour, you can cross hatch, you can start bringing the lines in from a different direction, like that. Now, to make it look really good, all you have to do is colour yellow over the top of it, like that. And it brings out the colour of the green really nice. See how that works? The whole image can just be shaded in with that. Yellow. Again, the nose could be green, a bit more green on the nose, a bit yellow across that green, like so. Bring this green up here, on this ear here, and just start fading out towards the end. They kind of work like coloured pencils. When they start to dry out a bit, you can really shade with them, you know. I'm going to do the same with this here, add a little bit more of a shadow to the bottom part, and then just continue with the yellow over the ears, like so. I'm going to use a fresh green. That one's running out a bit, to do this ear here, same effect, just flick out. I mean, this is a brand new pen, so you can still achieve the shaded effects. The pen doesn't have to be running out. You just have to learn that technique of flicking the pen, flick shading I like to call it. Really lightly go over the top, and you end up with that effect. Oops, I used the yellow, sorry. If you wanted the face to be a little bit less of a bright green, you could always use a warmer yellow. I've got two yellows here. This is more of an orangey, ambery yellow, and this is more of a straight yellow. So that's that done. Right, now I'll do Yoda's hair. Obviously I'm going to use grey, but Yoda's hair isn't like a straight grey, it's kind of like, it's got bits of white in it as well, so I'm just going to draw lines like I've drawn with these lines. Again, you can flick some of the lines out like that. Just draw them going up, and the shape of the hair. And towards the top, what I've done is I've used the same flick shade coming down like that. A bit on that hair there. Okay. Doing the hands now. Hands again, a bit more, some more flick shading. Just flick it up, flick. Colour it in solid with the shadow, and then colour in with yellow. Whole shape. Okay, so it's just the shirt, the jacket, and the stick I need to draw now. So this part is brown. The overcoat, I want that to be more of a beige colour. I'm going to try and achieve it with like the few colours I've got. So first of all, I'll draw the brown bit underneath, because I've actually got brown. I'm just going to do some little short lines, just like that, generating a kind of a weave pattern over the entire body. Not the entire body, the shirt bit. Make sure you don't accidentally colour in the sleeves. It's a mistake I make quite a lot. It's easy to make mistakes, you can always start again. Like that. I'm going to go over the whole thing with an orange. Just tends to bring the brown out a bit. It's going to help differentiate between the brown of the overcoat. Right, tunic's probably a better word than dress. Okay, so done that, but I'm going to add a bit of shading with my brown again. Just going to intensify some of the brown and the areas where I think it might be a bit shading, like this bit of shadow there, perhaps underneath the arm. Perhaps I'll make this a bit more shading in this area there. Could add a bit here and there, where it's just disappearing behind that overcoat. Right, so that's the brown bit done on the tunic. I'm going to do a similar thing with this overcoat, but I'm going to use just small flicks here and there, just where the shadow is mainly. So a bit shadow underneath the arm there. Shadows in this fold. Right, so that's Yoda just about done. All I have to do now is draw his stick. I'm going to do it the same way as I've done the brown bit of tunic there, but the lines, rather than doing a cross-hatchy effect like that, I'm just going to follow the lines of the wood grain. Like, if you imagine this is made of wood grain, you would just be following those lines like that. And of course, using the orange, go over the top, help to separate the stick. I think that's about it. I think that's basically it. How to draw this Yoda. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to see more videos.